Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4, where we are playing some Kaiserreich. And I still have no idea what we're doing, so if you are just joining us, make sure you get your votes into the poll right now, because I'm not going to hold it up for that much longer. Although it is coming in fairly handily with one of the choices. I'll give it another minute or two while I continue to mess with this fan. I think I might just turn it off. Oh, but it's so hot in here. The main thing I want is just like moving the air a little. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's better. Huzzah! Hexdex, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime resub. 6 months now, that's awesome. Thank you so much for that. I very much appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright, so it looks like the Union of Britain is winning this fairly handily. So let me just go and update the title for the UOB. No, not Brain Tan. I thought that would be kind of funny. Alright, let's do this. We're playing as the communists, so we need to find a way of becoming not communist. Let's do this. Do I want to set up any other rules? Nah, I don't think so. We'll do this. It's fine. Can I play as Bulgaria? I did actually have Bulgaria on the list. Did I leave them on the list? I don't remember if I did. I think they were the one that I removed. I was like, I don't really want to play such a small nation. Because I have done Bulgaria before. Is this a new start? This is. We finished the Two Sicilies game last time. So, new game. Here we go. Thank you, Kaiserreich team. It sure is. Thanks. Cool. So, we are the Union of Britain. We are playing with CPM's rebalanced focus times mod, and also allied construction projects, and also player-led peace conferences, plus base Kaiserreich as well. Let's go and take a look at the focuses. So we've got the 1936 Congress of the Trade Unions, which is basically where we choose whether to go syndicalist, totalist, or federated, effectively. We can then choose how to do our industrial development, officers, naval, and then our actions within the international. CSA gains British aid, electronics, naval doctrine, amphibious invasion. Okay. Well, we definitely need to start out with the Union of Congress of Trade Unions. I don't think that any of these are going to give infrastructure. That's the main thing I'm checking for right now. Those are research bonuses. Dispersed versus concentrated. Building slots. British Rail, so pretty much the whole of the UK. Oh, we can only do that with Central. So with Dispersed we get production efficiency cap and factory output +5. With Militarized we get +5 and +5 military factory construction speed. More factory output, more cap. Resource gain efficiency, monthly population. And then this is all in the center, which is one or the other. Or we get production efficiency, factory output, and construction speed. So that's efficiency +5. 5, 10. So it's 10 versus 15. Factory construction speed of 10. An output of 10 versus output of 10. The other side's just better. This comes with infrastructure. This comes with the resource efficiency and population. I mean, Britain doesn't usually have that many population problems. So I think we'll probably go centralized. Just because the bonuses are bigger, apparently. So, yeah. We need to build up everything up to level 8. Basically. 8. 8. 8. 8, 8, 8, 8. And that'll probably do for the early game. Marvellous. Let's get the trade unions going. This year's TUC will probably be a bit special. Long-time chairman Philip Snowden has indicated that he intends to resign. The decentralizationist autonomists led by Nikki Glace, centralist maximist Oswald Mosley, and the status quo federationalists Arthur Horner, with his egalitarian and pacifist running mate Annie Kenny, are vying for superiority. These will be nights to remember. So the next question then is, which way do we want to go? Generally, I don't like splitting the country up. So almost certainly not going to go devolution. Which means not home rule, which means not Nikki Glace. Or we can be Arthur Horner, Kenny, or Mann. So the Commissars is the Totalist, so that's going to be... What's his face? Mosley. Totalism, supply consumption, division recovery rate, reinforce rate, political power -5, totalism goes up. War support, totalism up. Political power, war support goes up, or totalism goes up. And then even more totalism, we lose militias. Or we go status quo. Evolution, which is stability. I do like stability. Stability is really strong. So I think I'm just going to go status quo. Yeah, we'll do status quo. And this also means that we keep the militias. So our organization is going to be terrible. We'll gain population factor, we'll gain recovery rate, attack and defense and core, but terrible planning speed. Oh. Are there any other ways of getting rid of the militias? Yes. So you can either dissolve them or reform them. If we reform them, they still have a slight organization penalty, but nowhere near as big. Planning speed is also reduced, but we get more attack and defense on core. So reforming the militias really is Fortress Britain, which isn't particularly what I want to do. Leader experience gain plus 25%. Okay, so with this we'll have amazing generals. The division organization then... will be removed, and then we get plus 25% planning speed. Or we can dissolve the militias, which removes them completely, and then we get the centralized command structure, which gives us plus 20% organization and max planning. Why would you ever do this? That seems rather one-sided. And then women soldiers gives you plus 25% population factor, but increases the goods factories used. Are there any second line? No. And then naval, we'll need to choose which way we go. Trade, interdiction, base strike, or fleet and being. And we'll go from there. Any goals for this playthrough, like take Canada or something? Survive. Mainly. Reformed gives more manpower. Oh yeah. Population factor plus 8. That's only factor, that's not actual manpower. I mean, it's going to add some, but not a massive amount. So no, I don't think we're going to bother. Okay, technologies. The other question is, what early industrial things do I get? Those are bonuses to industry. That's a bonus to construction tech. I mean, this isn't going to be... Whoa, 139 days. Yeah, we're going to be getting the first level of construction right now. Computing. And I think I should probably start doing some kind of naval research if I can. So then the other question is, which kind of fleet do we wish to develop? So what do we start with? Right, we actually have a lot of carriers. I'd forgotten how carrier heavy we were. Improved heavy carrier. Pre-Welsh Creek Dreads. Carrier. So we might actually want to go base strike. North Sea Fleet, which is also a carrier fleet. Or Fleet and Being. Because we do also have quite a few dreads. And destroyers. Fleet and Being with destroyers is really strong. 100 submarines. Good grief. That's quite a few submarines. And then the Welsh fleet. So yeah, we start with basically a strike fleet in every direction. This just upsets me even more that the British player wasn't using his fleets more in the tournament game. So yeah, I feel like we probably do want to go base strike. It's a thing I haven't really done before. Sindrin, thank you very much for the bits. Kill the Syndicalists. Wait, we are the Syndicalists? Kill the tyrants! Kill something! Kill more than I did during the Crusader Kings 2 stream. Because that was really bad. And yeah, we're going to have really good cruisers. So I think what this is looking like is carriers and cruisers. We're basically going to do a carrier task force. I can work with that. Although the cruisers are going to be more expensive. Never seen you go carriers. What are they good for? I mean, they're really good for force projection, and you can park aircraft on them, then use those aircraft for land-based operations. The problem is those planes are nowhere near as good as land-based ones. So I think I did one game doing that with Japan. It just wasn't that effective. But the carriers are pretty good anti-ships. But expensive. So you kind of have to start with them. How far in am I? I just found you. We just started, like, 1st of January, 36 still. I think we're going to do base strike. So we need to upgrade our heavy carriers so that we can potentially build some more in the future. And also our cruisers. Now, tell me, how much are these? 7,600. And these? I dread to ask. 14,000. How much is that compared to a dreadnought? So, bearing in mind how slowly we built dreadnoughts in the past, they're kind of pricey. Oh, sod it. We've never done it before. I'm curious. I don't know if these, like the side lift and the steam catapult, can be added. I mean, we have the side... Oh, you get them anyway. So, yes, I think we're going to go with heavy carriers. Oh, that's another question. What resources do they need? Steel and chromium. Do we have a source of chromium? At present, no. Where would we get it from? Bulgaria is probably going to be Reichspakt. Turkey, Ottomans, maybe. South Africa. We could try to do an invasion of South Africa. And we'll basically open up an African front. This would be a really good source of such resources, actually. And we'd be able to attack and destroy Middle Africa if we did that. So we're going to pretty much let the Commune of France do what they can in France while we go and do force projection. So yes, screw it. We're going to go carriers. So we're going to start upgrading those bad boys right now. Oh, no, we're not, because that's 2 years ahead of time. I guess that's a 38. Okay, so these are 38s. 33, 38, 40. I thought they'd be like 36 or something, but apparently not. These are. These aren't. Okay, so that's too far ahead of time, so we're not going to do that. Then the other one would be to upgrade our cruisers, which are also ahead of time. We have a really modern fleet. We could get snorkels. Though I think I'd rather stick radar on them. You know what, we could try... Yeah, let's get radio so that we can start putting radar on our ships early. Well, the world does need tea, this is true. The new France YouTube videos make me laugh. Yeah, those had its ups and downs. It's probably actually one of the favourite series I've recorded in a while. That was actually really fun, especially for vanilla. You know, it's an alternate timeline when you're counting on the French to hold off the Germans. They could have, it was just political problems. The army was pretty solid. Britain doing horrible things in South Africa. Imagine my shock. Yes. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab all of the fleets and we're going to just combine them because I want to play around with their compositions and we're going to base them in London. Except for the submarines, which I can keep separate. Alright, next thing. Commanders. We start with a really good submarine commander, Cayley, who already has Seawolf. We have a spotted blockade runner. That's going to be very good for our recon. Blockade runner could be good for escorts. We have another submarine commander. Spot another blockade guy. Air controller. So we have an Air Force commander. We have an Ironsides, which is a capital ship commander. We have another Ironside with blockade runner. Ooh, I like him. Joel Dickens. Interesting. Spotter. Blockade runner. Another Seawolf. We don't have any escort experts, though. So shipping in supplies, particularly oil, is going to be a challenge. The other thing that we will need to do is try and help the Americans out. So let's get the cheap ships done first. March, April. Let's do those two first. Those aren't until 40s. 37. Okay, so that one's relatively nearly done. Let's do that. And we'll finish off the capital ships later. Okay. Oh, there are already a bunch of people who refuse to trade with us. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, getting resources in is going to be interesting. Alright, so the next question I have is how do I get that ridiculous buff to synthetic fuel? It's probably over here. Nope. Or do I just start with it? Nope. This is going to be fairly important. Unless it just comes up as an event, which is possible. Most awful war movie I've seen was Dunkirk, wasted an hour and a half. I quite like Dunkirk. Fury was good too, yeah. South Africa refuses to trade? Time to spread the revolution. Another we can get 6 research slots? Whoa, okay. We're going to have a lot of division organization. Okay. Anything else I need to set up? Yeah, basically everything else. So let's get our regular armies. And then the militia armies. Have them all under field marshals. Nobody needs to train whatsoever. And then the Air Force, which is quite small. Goes to no, not Yorkshire. East Anglia. That sounds reasonable. May even send them over to France soon enough. Okay, I think we're good. Let's do this. The New Britain. After the defeat of France, the United Kingdom's war with Germany dragged on inconclusively for 2 years. In 1921, the stalemate was finally broken when Lloyd George agreed to the German proposal of a peace with honour. While Britain's overseas territories remained largely intact, the faith of the people did not. In 1925, disaster struck. A minor labour dispute in the coalfields of South Wales quickly escalated, and after 6 weeks of rioting, looting and pamphleting, most of the establishment, including the royal family, had fled to Canada. A provisional government of revolutionary groups dissolved what little was left of Parliament and declared a new Union of Britain. 11 years later, the Tried Union Congress still forms the centrepiece of politics of the Federated and Democratic Union. The British people are secure on their island, content to build up socialism in isolation, protected by the strong Republican Air Force and Navy, and with the country protected by its own popular militia, who both act as reserve military and the new police. Yet, with the world seemingly ready to erupt into chaos, many are starting to wonder if Britain has a duty to spread the revolution to her former colonial territories. After all, the monarchists in Canada cannot be allowed to plot against the Union indefinitely. Fascinating, yes. Alright, navies, have you finished? Yes, you have. Marvellous. Right, so first of all, going to select you because we need to set up the submarine template, which is going to be 10 ships. I forgot to save it. No, I didn't. Really wish there was a way of saving the icon, cause I'm gonna have to do the icon for each of these. Do. Then the second question is, do I want to actually train my submarines at all? That uses a lot of oil. And if watching the Kaiserreich weekly games has taught me anything, is we're kind of low on oil. So I'm not sure that I necessarily want to be doing that. Alright, so first thing we need to do is choose your commander, and I think it's almost certainly going to be Cayley. Although actually Douglas is pretty good too. They are precisely the same skill. So I'm going to do something I don't usually do. I'm going to separate out my submarine commanders. Oops, not a new theatre, I just meant a new fleet. Just because I want them at the end, although could I have switched them around here? No. Cool. So these are going to be all the submarines. They should all be red and orange, and they all need to have the submarine icon because it's annoying when they don't. Okay, then these guys I'm going to merge together because I need to see precisely what ships I have to play with here. So we have 6 carriers, 12 dreads, 10 battleships, 25 cruisers and 150 destroyers. So with that many capital ships, 17, 27, 28... we need to have 112 screens. So we do actually have surplus screens here. quite a few, actually. This is a good state of affairs. So I think what I want to do is create a new fleet, which is going to have 2 heavy carriers. It's going to have... Hell, I could even do smaller strike fleets. You know what? I like that idea more. Could even do like a high seas fleet for striking at enemy fleets. I think I like that even more than I do the other thing. So we're going to get rid of you. We're going to get rid of the dreadnoughts. We're going to have 3 heavy carriers in this. We're going to get rid of the destroyers. This is going to be purely a cruiser fleet. So currently we need 3, 9. Technically we'd need 36. $32. No, I still want to keep a decent number. And I'm just going to up these to 36. Let's make it 40. So we want 40 cruisers to round this fleet out completely. So that's our high seas fleet, which is going to be slightly separate. Then we're going to have carrier and a couple of dreads. So that's 1, 4, 5, 6. So we need 24 for this. And then this is a home fleet. Home strike fleet. Oh, we'll just call it strike fleet. Ah.